I'm back at the Burr shed. The Burr shed is traveling to Mount Burr again just to install the final rainwater tank for rainwater harvesting on my mum's place. Well, hello again. I'm in Mount Burr now. I'm just on my way to Millicent to pick up some, or put in an order for some supplies to make a base for the tank. Since the little introduction I made on Saturday, I no longer have my car. I hit a kangaroo. About 3 hours after I made that video, my car was towed to Mount Gambier, and it's now getting towed to Melbourne. I got my mum's car now. I'm just heading to the hardware store. All I need is a couple of dozen bolts and maybe 1.5 dozen sleepers, so I can make a little base for the tank to sit on, so it's not directly on the ground. Hopefully it'll increase its life a little bit. And then I'm hopefully getting some help this weekend from my nephew and brother-in-law to move the tank, the old tank from the back where it's not being used anymore, and put it to where it can be put to use to harvest some water before the winter rains finish. So then at least they will have 4 tanks of rainwater to start the summer with. So what I'm going to do now is just start digging a few holes to make a base to put the next water tank on. I'm going to just dig shallow holes to put some Mount Gambier stones on that I can set the timber frame on that will support the tank. Most of the rest of this video is me working by myself. I don't talk to the camera, so it's fairly silent. I have fast forwarded quite a lot of it because it is just fairly boring stuff. I've added some music that was royalty free that I found on the internet, and that might make it a little bit more interesting. But if you want to keep watching, keep watching. If you find it boring but want to see what's toward the end, just tap forward on the timeline on your YouTube player. But yeah, this is what I did when I went to Mount Burr to install a tank stand for the 4th tank in the rainwater harvesting system for my mum. Unfortunately we didn't get it all done, as you will find out a little bit later on in the video what the reason for that was. Fortunately for me, this is all sandy soil. It is easy to dig, and also water percolates beautifully through the sand, so there's never really any water on the surface. Nothing on the surface is wet. You can see a hole just behind the shovel in this picture where the tank overflowed and made a hole in the sand, but there weren't any puddles. As soon as the rain finished, the puddles were all gone, percolated through the sand.
all the foundation stones are set. I've compacted the sand in with water and tamped it down with the stick. They're all fairly solidly in the sand, so I hope that they won't move and they will hold the tank up nice and straight. As you can see, a couple of these limestone blocks are very high. The frame of the platform is sitting almost directly on top of the limestones. I didn't mind doing this because all that the limestone is doing is providing a firmer base for the wood to sit on, and also the wood being not so deep in the ground, I'm hoping that it will last longer. It's guaranteed for 10 years, but I'm hoping to get a little bit more. As you can see later on, I'm going to put a little bit of concrete around all the feet of this platform, and that will hopefully create a barrier also around the timber so that it won't absorb as much moisture from the ground as it otherwise would. On top of using the spirit level on each side and the cross members, I also used a laser level just to make sure that if there's a little bit of difference with the spirit level from one corner to another, it wouldn't transfer too much across. So I checked the top of all the square of the frame with the laser level to make sure that it was all straight before I put all the bolts in. I made a quick trip to Millicent to Mitre 10 just to pick up a few bags of rapid set concrete. I just wanted to put a little bit of concrete around all the legs of the tank base. Not that the concrete is going to be doing anything for the structure. It's more to keep moisture off the pressure treated pine, just to prolong its life. I just thought if it's just sitting on the Mount Gambier stone, which absorbs water, it can then just keep transferring the water up into the timber. I thought if there's a little bit of cement around it, it will hopefully preserve it a little bit. So that's what I did. I just got 6 bags of cement or concrete, rapid set concrete, and all I did was just poured the dry concrete around the legs, and then added some water and just did a little bit of a mix with my shovel to make sure the water went through and saturate all the concrete. Well, as it turned out, this tank wasn't going to be of any use to us after all. Even though the walls were in perfect condition, it had rusted out completely on the bottom. There were so many holes that there was no way that we could reuse it. So it just became a firewood holding place, as you will see shortly.
Yeah, I know. Rocks and limestone in it.
So this is our post.
Oh,
It's not a proper post, but there we go. It's not a.
better than fun.
I mean, there's a post right there, like 2 feet away.
Yeah, that's right.
It's 1.8 there, so.
Okay.
It's
So close.
maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, just 100 mil probably. Yeah.
Let's stick the post in the hole.
Give it a try. Beautiful. Oh, brilliant.
Couldn't be better.
You only that's got to be wrong because nothing's level here.
Yeah, no.
Well, this has got to be.
Bring it this way so we can put that the rail on.
What do you mean, sorry?
So the rail that comes from here has to port in as well. So that this way a little bit.
This way?
Yes. Okay, I'll have to be this way before, I think.
Oh, yeah, of course. You want half and half between that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I've got to take it out, I think.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, big from this side.
We've got this and young muscle around. There you go. But the walls are really compacted.
Yeah, that's right. Muddy cement.
Now if you use that piece of wood in there. It's like cement when you go.
Yeah.
If you had some
Your father's son.
some clay and ash to mix with it, it would be almost cement.
That's right. Oh, clay doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh really? It's only
Yeah,
it's like a third of
sorry,
this
like-
size.
That's awesome.
Fill her up and
Fill her up.
cut it down with it. Bottom rail.
Especially if you like.
Sorry.
That was a fun time.
Yeah.
That's what. Just start it. Say when you're ready.
Yeah.
Oh, pick up. Yeah.
It's allowed to be extra. Nobody's going to see it.
Yeah, I'm getting fussy too now. That's it. Yeah, you got it.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just put it on top of this one.
Okay.
That'll do.
Yeah.
You might be wondering why we are repairing this piece of fence. Well, earlier in the day, while Edward and I were waiting for Jeremy and Jesse to come, before we had turned the old water tank over, we actually removed this fence. We have an agreement with the neighbor that we can go up her driveway and bring the tank in. There's really no other way of bringing the tank in here. We did that with the other tank as well, if you remember from an earlier video. So we had the tank taken off. She had actually trimmed all her flowers off, so there was nothing in our way. We were just gonna bring the tank and tip it up onto its place from where there was no fence. But seeing as we weren't able to use the tank, we are just repairing the fence back up, and it'll be actually easier when we do get it. We're gonna get a new PVC tank. Once we get that, we only have to take 4 bolts from the rails of the fence, and about 4 screws of the iron from the left hand side where Jeremy is putting them in now, and then we can lift the whole panel of three sheets off and take it out the way, so that should be quite easy. You get to put one here as well. Seeing as we didn't get the tank here, I had to still make the overflow go into the stormwater drain, and this stormwater drain, it smells bad, almost like sewage. I don't know if the pipes in this old town are interconnected somehow, but when I made the overflow for this tank, I put a little P-trap in it just to stop the smell from coming up into the tank. Don't know what the kind of smell would do to the water, if it would affect the water somehow, but I just thought it would be safer to have a little bit of water in the pipe all the time, so that the smells don't come out of the pipes. This is the only use I could think of for the old water tank. I cut a small piece from the bottom, about 450 mil, including the bottom, and I put a little bit of a crisscross of timber at the front, just to make it a little bit more rigid, so it wouldn't crumble and fall over in use. So what I'm going to use this for is just make a little place for firewood that's closer to the house, so that my sister doesn't have to go so far into the back to be able to get the firewood. This can be filled by anybody, maybe even the person who brings the firewood can put the wood in here, so that they don't have to go to the back to continue getting firewood. I filled it up so that I stacked the timber in the front, and when I've gone up a little bit, then I stuffed timber at the back, so it's all full. It's I think it's about 450 deep.